Welcome to 719 FPV. I'm Nick Roberts, and today we finally are getting our first snowfall of the season. It is ridiculous how long it took, but the snow is here, so I'm gonna be attempting to waterproof the TinyGO using some MG Chemicals urethane conformal coating. I've seen some good stuff about this. I've seen some failed attempts, some really amazing things where people have used this stuff and to coat all of their electronics on their drone, and I've seen them fly through swimming pools. So there's some pretty promising stuff with this stuff. But anyway, this is my first time using it, so we're just gonna see how it goes. If anything, it's just gonna add a little bit more peace of mind while I continue to fly throughout the winter. But since I've had this guy for a while, it is very dirty. So to give this its best shot, I'm gonna clean it up really good using isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush. So I'm gonna break it all down and give it a good scrubbing. Try to clean up as much as I can. It looks like it's pretty caked on there. We'll see. But yeah, with this stuff, you want to make sure you have a clean surface to start with to give it the best shot of adhering to it and also not just sealing in any grossness to your boards. So without any further ado, let's get to it, start breaking this down, get all the components apart, and get them cleaned up. All right, so we got everything apart. One last thing before we get started is I am gonna cut this heat shrink off of the receiver. That way I can get to all these components, get it all coated. All right, now let's get to cleaning. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean everything all at once. That way, once we get to coating, we can just do everything all at once. All right. So when it comes to cleaning, I'm just gonna fill the cap as my little reservoir. Soak the brush, and I'm just gonna go to town. Now you do want to be pretty gentle, that way you don't push or mess up knock anything loose. But also you want to scrub enough to get that dirt out. I have the previous wax or silicone, whatever they used, some sort of rubber cement to keep the, oh, that came off pretty good, to keep the antenna on. So make sure you get all of that stuff off. Alright, now that everything is cleaned, it's time to get to conformal coating using this. Now, there's a few things to note when you are going to start conformal coating all of your components. It's very important not to get any conformal coating inside any of your connectors or your plugs, because they will cover those pins and they won't be able to get a good connection. So I am actually just gonna put everything back together. I'm gonna plug everything in. That way all my usable plugs will be closed. That way there's no way I could get conformal coating on any of these important pins. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Alright, everything is connected, everything is cleaned, and we are ready to start conformal coating. Just to protect my desk area, I am gonna slide just a piece of paper underneath. That way any drips I get don't land on the desk. And yeah, just to keep everything a little bit nice and neat. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think we're good to start. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to be using this MG Chemicals urethane conformal coating. And I will just be brushing on every surface. Try to coat everything nice and thick. This little bind button right there, I'm gonna do just a slight coating on, but nothing too heavy. But with all the plugs filled, I should be able to just coat pretty much everything on it, and I'll be good to go. The only thing I'm not going to coat is the image sensor on the camera, but I will be coating all the way around it and everything on the other side as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna be doing one side, do everything on this side first, and I'll give it some time to dry. And then we'll flip it over and do it again. Everything is pretty thickly coated. That's better. Alright, so I'm going to let this sit and dry, and I will be back in just a few seconds. The magic of video. And we will flip it over and do the other side. All right, top layer is all good and dry. So let's go ahead and flip this on over and do the bottom sides. work, I think. Alright, let's zoom you in. And let's do it. I think that is just about everything is coated now. Now I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. There's one little spot left, just right there on the receiver. Alright, everything looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to give this some time to dry up. I believe with everything coated the way it is, everything looks nice and thick. It's nice and glossy everywhere I see. I did get the back of the connectors. That way those are all sealed up once everything is with everything connected. Everything is nice and sealed. Oh, I can get the back of that connector a little bit better. Let's see. There we go. All right, and I believe everything is good to go. Hopefully this is now a waterproof TinyGO. All right, I'm gonna let this sit. I will see you back in just a couple seconds and we'll get this put back together. All right, guys, conformal coating is on. It is dry. Let's take a look at that. Not very much on the top of that, but that should be okay. So that looks pretty good. Nice and glossy. And the camera should be good to go. Let's get this out of our way. All right, now I did get quite a bit around the USB cable, so we'll see. Oh, unplugs just fine, not too bad. I'd say that's perfect. Inside looks pretty clean. All right. I'd say that's a job well done. Got some prop, that should be fine. You know what? Let's just change these out right now while we've got them off. No, don't want to do that. All right, so conformal coating looks good to go. Now, let's get this thing put back together. I mean, this right here is a drone, but I can't do much with that. So, let's get things back on the frame, back on the canopy, this camera back together, and let's do some flying in the snow. Cue the build montage. So I got the TinyGO put back together, got some fresh new props on it. Everything is completely coated with the conformal coating. The only thing that's not, I didn't actually put anything on it, are the battery plugins. I may put some on, just those little tiny little, you can't even see that. Let's see. Anyway, so I may end up going back and putting some right on the end of this, just in case. That way everything is completely covered. But let's go test this guy out. It's still snowing just a little bit. So let's see how this camera does in the blinding white of winter snowland. Well, that was a short flight. Guy's a little bit wet right now. He's actually dripping on me. But it works. He was buried in snow and it didn't die out on me. Just to prove it again, I mean, this guy is sopping wet. And let's hope no smoke. Stoked. Guess it was a success. Oh, guess it was a success, guys. That'll do it for this video. Love you. Hope you were entertained. Maybe learned something. Who knows? But either way, you all stay safe out there. Stay warm, and I love you. See you on the next one. Bye, guys.